Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is February 15th of 2026. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears that CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to stage a full-scale Israeli Air Force, Israeli Defense Forces, Israeli Navy, and or United States Armed Forces-based preemptive strike targeting Iran, the Islamic Republic of Iran, on the morning of February 17th of 2026, specifically to trigger World War III. This will also fulfill the biblical prophecy of the apocalyptic battle of Armageddon, as foretold in Revelation 16:16 of the Holy Bible, because in the aftermath of this attack, every single rocket that Iran has is going to be pointed towards Israel. Every bomb that they have is going to be detonated, and every single plane that they have is going to be flown into skyscrapers in and across Israel, and as well as U.S. Armed Forces military bases across the Middle East and the Mediterranean. So basically, while Netanyahu met secretly regarding this impending attack on the date of February 11th at the White House in Washington, D.C., the blowback from this attack is going to be epic, and it's likely going to draw Russia in on the side of Iran, who is likely going to take unilateral action against United States Armed Forces in the Middle East and the Gulf region, as well as the Mediterranean. So this is basically all shit's going to hit the fan. The notion that they would stage a preemptive attack on Iran has been executed once before, namely with the so-called 12-day war between Iran and Israel back on June 13th through the 24th of 2025. And in this particular case as well, as soon as Israel attacked Iran with ballistic missiles, with airstrikes, and with assassination of Iranian nuclear scientists, Iran sent a bunch of missiles into Israel. And they also targeted U.S. military base in Doha, Qatar, in the aftermath of this attack. And so that is what we can expect is a redux, a replay of this, but on a much grander scale. And the end goal of this is specifically designed to trigger a nuclear war in Iran, in Israel, in the Middle East, in Europe, and in the United States. Exactly how this is going to go down or what this is going to look like is obviously not known, but the CIA has staged twice already a preemptive U.S. And Israeli joint strike operation, what I'm calling a World War III exercise, entitled Juniper Oak. And phase one of Juniper Oak was executed by Israel and the United States in the Mediterranean Sea. And it consisted of live fire exercising featuring more than 12 naval vessels, 140 aircraft, as well as the deployment of the M142 HIMARS, high mobility artillery rocket systems, and the M270 multiple launch rocket systems back on January 23rd through 29th of 2023. And then a few months later, on July 9th, they executed a shorter version of this drill entitled Operation Juniper Oak Phase 2 in both Israel and the Mediterranean Sea region, which consisted again of 12 naval vessels, 140 aircraft, as well as the M142 and the M270 rocket systems. So based off these previous war games, and what we do know about the CIA is that whenever they do a terror attack or a stage a war, they always do a beta test, otherwise known as an exercise or military exercise. And in this particular case, these drills suggest that the impending attack on Iran on the date of February 17th of 2026 is going to consist of a joint U.S.-Israeli um, basically a bombardment of Iran the likes of which we've never seen before. Um, if we recall, back in Desert Storm, U.S. aircraft went in flying sorties, bombing strategic locations um, across Iraq, but this is going to be far different. The amount of casualties that the United States and her servicemen and women are going to incur in the hours after this attack is going to be on an unprecedented level, and this is basically designed to trigger a full-scale war with Iran. So exactly how it's going to play out, obviously not known, but I believe that the initial phase will be exactly what these drills, Operation Juniper Oak, entailed, which is they're going to unleash a unprecedented wave of ballistic and cruise missile strikes and rocket attacks targeting Iran. And then they are going to have 12 Navy ships minimum. So we have the USS Abraham Lincoln and the Carrier Strike Group 3 sitting off in the Caribbean, in the Arabian Sea, and then the USS George H.W. Bush is currently en route to Iran. So this is going to come later, but there's also multiple bases in Qatar, in Kuwait, in Iraq, in Syria, in Lebanon, in Jordan, in Egypt, from which the United States can man or order sorties or airstrikes, not to mention all the drones. So, but I imagine after a few volleys of rockets and cruise missiles and ballistic missiles, I believe that these 140 aircraft are going to go in and bomb the shit out of Iran. And then they're likely going to continue this process. But what Trump doesn't know, and what Trump is being tricked into, I believe, and what was likely not discussed in this meeting, is that because the CIA controls Iran, they control Israel, and they control the United States. And the only player in this game that doesn't know that or is not privy to that is Trump, unfortunately. And so I believe that Trump is going to be baited into this attack, and then all hell is going to break loose. And even if Iran themselves do not attack U.S. military bases, Israel will attack our military bases and our military ships and our Navy ships and say it was Iran. And that's the catch here, is that as soon as this starts, it basically gives the Israeli military carte blanche to attack any U.S. Base or naval facility in the region, and then in the fog of war, so to speak, the United States will be told that it's Iran, but it's really coming from Israel. It's really being orchestrated by the Dolphin-class submarines of the U.S. Navy, the secret, what I call a shadow fleet of the Israeli military, which they have all sorts of prototypes and ships that are a few years old that have been replaced. And so this is how they're going to trigger World War III, and then Trump is going to overreact, and this is what he doesn't know is going to hurt him, is that he's going to believe that Iran is the one behind this, and then he's going to launch a full-scale attack on Iran, and that is exactly what Israel wants, is to bait the United States into a full-scale war with Iran to destroy both Iran and the United States in the process so that they can benefit. As the old Latin saying, que bono, who benefits Israel. So obviously, if the CIA stages any sort of preemptive attack by the United States and or Israel targeting the Islamic Republic of Iran on the date of February 7th, Tuesday, February 7th of 2026, I would kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets. Peace.